Okay, folks, welcome. This is Mark Emery with the Lighthouse Law Club. I want to welcome you to this presentation. We are launching a brand new training program geared to take basically anybody who wants to apply themselves to build a business on the internet to create financial freedom and be able to essentially have ownership of your time and be able to be wherever you are, location independent. We're going to develop multiple streams of cash flow, and it's going to be an exciting adventure. We're going to have trainings over the next several weeks and ongoing. You can start at any point in time and follow the training messages that we have, which are recorded, and take it at your own time and pace. So it's available to anybody. There's no cost to this. And I'm really looking forward to helping people create success in their lives, and more important than that, true freedom. All right, so what does it take to become an internet entrepreneur? Let's just look at some basic concepts to establish a solid foundation here. All right, look at the words, internet entrepreneur. Let's look at the first three letters of each word. To become an internet entrepreneur, we have to start with some very specific intent, right? Intent is the baseline for everything. And in as far as that goes, we've got to have singleness of purpose. To have singleness of purpose, you've got to have a very clear vision as to what exactly is it that you want to achieve. Your goals are different from anybody else's, all right? The needs that you have in your life are very specific to you, your situation, your background, training, your desires, your dreams, and nobody else has those in the same way that you do. We could speak in general terms and say, yeah, a lot of people share some similar general goals and objectives in life, but then it comes down to the details, all right? And so before any project is initiated, if you're going to build a high-rise, you've got to have very specific parameters in terms of what exactly is the desired outcome. And if you don't have specificity on that, guess what? You're never going to get that high-rise built properly. It'll be a mess. And it's the same thing with building a business, all right? Now, I know you have gone over through your lifetime many different ways and exercises for establishing goals. But let's take this and drill down on it, all right? First of all, what are your financial goals? My first comment would be, what do you need to replace your paycheck? That's the first objective, all right? As long as you have a corporate paycheck, someone else owns your time and your possibilities are limited. Not only that, you have no privacy. It's subject to seizure if you don't file the right papers in the correct manner. It's just not the way you want to be. So the first objective is to replace your paycheck. And then we go from there. Okay, so you need to establish for yourself, what are your financial goals? What are your time goals? How much time do you have right now for your family, for yourself, for your hobbies, for your recreational activities? How much time do you really have? Conversely, how much time does someone else own? And that would be not only the time that you spend in the office at work or doing your job, wherever that may be, but we also have to add the commute time. Some people will commute anywhere from 1 to 2 hours a day or more, and other activities related to supporting that job. All right, so what are your time goals? How much time do you want to recapture? How much time do you want to own for yourself? Okay? Think about that, because if you don't own your time, it doesn't matter what your finances are, really. Does it? You can't use your finances if you don't own your time. So that's important. Have you ever thought about the emotional goals? You know, if you had more than enough money to take care of your needs and do a lot more, if you had ownership of your own time, how would that make you feel? If you were in that position in life, what would it mean to you to have the peace of mind knowing that you could handle any emergencies that come up financially? How would you feel if you were able to contribute and help others financially, or with your time, or with your expertise, your knowledge, getting involved in community projects, helping out family members, being able to help your neighbor? You know what it feels like to help others and to give. There really is no greater feeling to be in a position. Conversely, when someone needs you and you're not able to help, that's just an absolutely horrible feeling. And I've experienced both. I know what that's like. So how will you really feel to have peace of mind, to have security, to be able to contribute to help others if you're able to achieve and accomplish these goals? All right? Dig down deep and uncover what those emotions and those feelings are, because that's a part of your goal setting. That's a part of what you want to achieve by completing your goals in the first two items. Okay? Next, what are your social goals? What would you like to do for your family? What would you like to do for your church, for your community, for the group that you're involved in? Maybe you're involved in the freedom movement. Maybe you'd like to give more time and energy, possibly even finances, to help out a specific cause. All right? What are those goals? If you've got all your personal needs taken care of, let's look beyond that. What would you be able to do? What would you want to do to contribute to those around you? All right? Those are things to think about. And lastly, what are your lifestyle goals? Take a look around where you are right now. Is this where you want to live? You may have a beautiful home in a beautiful place. Maybe you'd like to expand upon that. Would you like to be able to spend some time in the tropics? Get away from the cold? Be surrounded by beautiful exotic colored birds and butterflies and flowers and panoramic scenes, beaches, mountains? Maybe you'd feel good being able to live, at least part-time, in a 37 to 40 foot motorhome with 2 or 3 slide outs. Be able to sit on top of the Continental Divide in the Rocky Mountains and have lunch overlooking the world. Maybe pull up into a national park alongside a gorgeous lake under the pine trees. Spend a couple days there operating your business from your Wi-Fi based internet computer operation. Okay? What kind of a lifestyle would you really like to achieve? This is something that only you can answer. All right? Now, it's important to really be able to feel these things. And I would highly recommend take the time, clear the decks, clear your time, clear your mind, and sit down and write out, what are these goals for you? How would these things make you feel? What position would that put you in? How would that change your life? Write these things out, make it at least 1 or 2 pages, possibly more, and spell these things out and make it very specific as to what you really want to achieve and what this business is going to help you do. All right? Because without a goal line, you can never score. All right? And if you're not reminded of how accomplishing these goals is going to make you feel, you're going to be much more likely to quit. Right? You've got to really want it. You've got to know what it's like, what it feels like, what kind of position this is going to put you in life, and be able to smell it and taste it to really want to go after it. Okay? So you get the idea. Write this out in specific detail and start a binder. This is very important. All right? Next, let's take a look at mindset. Mindset is a determining factor in your success. I'll tell you right now. Many people lose before they even begin, or they fail before they even begin. All right? And I see it every day. It's really sad. It's really sad to see how people are trapped by their own mindset. So first, let's examine what we don't want to have, and that's a loser's mindset. All right? A loser's mindset puts him in a position where he says, I can't because I don't have the money. I can't because I don't have the time. Well, duh, isn't that what we're trying to solve or resolve? That's what we're trying to fix. You've got to find a way around that, okay, and do what it takes. I can't because I'm not a salesperson. You know, I'm not a promoter. You know, I'm not a networker. You know, there's all kind of things that I'm not, so I can't. So when you catch yourself saying that, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a box with predetermined limitations, and you will never get out of that box. That's your life. That box that you live in, that's your life. That's how it is. That's how it's always going to be. All right, so is that what you want? That's not where you want to be. Another one is, well, I'll try. I hear that all the time. And to me, I'll try really is just a way to respond to somebody and to get rid of them without really having any serious intent. Does that sound like a commitment? Well, I'll try and, you know, we'll see what happens. Is that a commitment? No. That's a predisposed admission to failure. You're saying you're going to fail right up front. There's no commitment there. Well, I'll try and just see what happens, you know. So essentially what that person is saying, what you're saying when you say that, is that you're going to make a half-hearted effort and, you know, at some point in time, soon enough, you'll find a reason why it didn't work and, you know, that'll be the end of it. You quit. That's a loser's mindset, okay? And so, well, I tried and it didn't work, so, you know, I'm just not going to continue. I quit. I got other things to do. All right, so you can see that from the very beginning with this mindset, you've already lost before you begun, so why even waste the time? There's no commitment there whatsoever. So if you catch yourself thinking or even worse, saying these things, you know that you're predisposed to lose. You've got a loser's mindset. All right, so these are things that we have to correct. So let's take a look at how winners think, because quitters never win. You've heard it before. Quitters never win. How can you win if you quit? Let me give you an example. I'm a Packers fan, Green Bay Packers, NFL football. And this season, they started out pretty strong, 4 wins, 2 losses. Then they went on a 4-game skid. They lost 4 games in a row. The quarterback was missing easy passes. The receivers were dropping easy receptions. You know, the team just wasn't hitting on all cylinders. And after 4 losses in a row, they went from 4-2 to 4-6. People were all over the coach, wondering if maybe he should be fired, wondering what happened to the quarterback. You know, he's been MVP. Aaron Rodgers has been MVP several times. You know, one of the elite quarterbacks in NFL history. You know, 4 games skid, and all of a sudden, you know, people are saying he's not worth anything. He's not what he used to be. He's lost it. All right, so the world is all over these guys. Now, at that point, it'd be really easy to say, well, you know, we're just not playing the way we should be, and things just aren't working out the way they're supposed to, and you know, we'll just put on the uniform, we'll go out on the field, but you know, no sense trying really hard anymore because you know, we just can't seem to do it, and you know, we're going to kind of quit mentally. We'll go through the motions and pretend to play the games, but you know, it's just not working. Is that what they did? No. The quarterback and the entire team had full confidence in who they were, what they were doing, and what was their objective. And so what happened? Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, says, you know what, I really think we can run the table for the next 6 games and get into the playoffs. You know, they're 2 games under 500 on a 4-game skid, can't seem to do anything right. And here's a quarterback saying, well, you know what, I think we can run the table and win the rest of our games. 6 games in a row. What happened? These guys were determined. They had a vision of what their goal was. They knew it would take hard work. They hung together. They believed in themselves. They kept working. And what happened? They ran the table. They won 6 games in a row. At this point in time, they've won their first playoff game, so that's 7 games in a row. They win 1 more game, and they're in the NFC Championship playing for the right to go to the Super Bowl. And we'll see what happens with all that. Now, that's an example of how a team or an individual would have an excuse to quit. But they didn't. They had a vision. They were determined. They knew hard work pays results. They had confidence, and they were not going to quit until they accomplished their goal. And they've proven they are winners, whatever happens in the playoffs. Quitters never win. So let's look at a winner's mindset on the other side of the coin. Let's say someone presents you, a good friend of yours has a business idea, presents you with a business plan. You guys work together, you put together a business plan, and you realize that to make this work, you're going to need $100,000 to put into the business in the first 6 months. All right? Right now, you're wondering how you're going to pay your electric bill this month. All right? So it'd be really easy to say, well, that's going to take $100,000. I don't have $100,000, so I can't do that. A winner would say, you know what? We need $100,000 to do this. We need to find a way to get that $100,000. And it's done all the time. If you've got a good business idea, investors will put money into it. And there's different ways you can generate funds. So a winner's mindset is, all right, this is an obstacle. We have to find a way to solve this problem. How are we going to do that? You don't let an obstacle become an excuse for failure. It becomes a challenge to overcome. You can say, geez, I've never done anything like this before. I've got no experience. I don't know anything about this. There's so much involved, like this internet program, this training program we're doing. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to be learning about that you've never done before. Because you've never done it, is that going to be an excuse to quit right off the bat? If so, I'm sorry, but you're a loser. A winner will say, I've never done that before, but you know what? I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn how to do that, and I'm going to be darn good at it. And I'm going to be successful. This is what I have to do. And you lay out the steps. This, and this. This is what I have to do. All right? There's my plan. Pretty straightforward. A winner who's perhaps having trouble with something, I've got this ad out there. I'm not getting any responses. Where can I get help to get a better response? To get more leads? To generate more business? This isn't working. A loser would say, this isn't working. I'm just going to quit. A winner's going to say, you know what? Maybe I need to change the messaging in my ad. Maybe I need to retarget my ad to a different target market. Maybe I need a different media to get this ad out. Maybe there's a different approach I need to take in my marketing. Where can I get help, some expert advice to guide me on this? Get this problem solved. Because this isn't working. I got to make some changes. So the difference is, a loser, it says, this isn't working, I'm just going to quit. It doesn't work for me. A winner says, this isn't working for me. I gotta solve this problem, find a way to make it work. Different formula, something different. Got to improve, got to learn from my failures. And a winner will say, I need to find a way to do it before this date. I've got my goal set for the end of the year, and it's October, and I'm only 75% of the way there. I got to find a way to crank this thing up, accelerate the pace, so I can meet my goal before this date that I have set. Or maybe there's a pending event, and you've got to get a certain amount of attendance to a webinar. All right? You've got to find a way to do it before this date. How are we going to do that? We got off to a slow start. That's another good Packer example. Wild card playoff game against the Giants. Packers offense, the first 27 minutes of the first half, almost the entire first half, they only had 2 first downs and 7 yards offense total. Horrible. Absolutely inept. Couldn't do anything. The Giants' defense was dominating. The whole first half, 27 of the first 30 minutes of the first half, absolutely inept. What did they do? They said, we got to find a way to fix this. We got to do something different. In the last 3 minutes of the first half, they scored 2 touchdowns to take a 14-6 lead. Went on to win 38-16. Just dominated the second half. They were absolutely horrible. They just looked completely useless out there. They ended up winning 38-16. They found a way to do it before the end of the game. Right? That's an example. A winner says, I will never quit until I accomplish my goals. Whatever it takes. Whatever obstacle comes up, I'll go over it, around it, through it, or I'll just destroy it. An obstacle is not an excuse for failure. An obstacle is a challenge to overcome to reach success. That's a winner's mindset. And without that mindset, you might as well not even begin, because you're not going to succeed. You'll find some excuse. Nothing's easy. To say something might be simple, a concept might be simple, that's not to say that it's going to be easy. It's not to say that you're going to have challenges or difficulty or delays or problems along the way. But you've got to be committed to overcome those obstacles and do whatever it takes. Commitment is the key. Are you really committed to success? If not, don't even bother beginning, because you'll be wasting your time and probably other people's time as well. All right, so this is important. Bear that in mind. Winners never quit. All right. So with that in mind, you have to decide right now. Are you predisposed to quit as soon as something looks like work or looks difficult or isn't working quite right or isn't giving you instant success? Let me tell you, very, very few people achieve instant success. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to tweak some things. You're going to have to learn from failures as you go. If you can do that, you can win. But you've got to decide what you're going to do. You know, there is no secret to success. Success is derived from preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. We're going to do the preparation in these training sessions. The work is going to be up to you to implement the things that we're teaching here. Some things aren't going to work as well as you like. We're going to have to tweak them, do it better, learn how to do it better. We'll learn from those failures and continue onward. All right? So it requires commitment to do whatever it takes. It's pretty simple. Not necessarily going to be easy, but it's a simple concept. All right, so you understand that. So let's look at two very simple income models. And you've seen this before. There's the linear income model where you exchange your time for money. Maybe you're a consultant. Maybe you make a great hourly fee. But the fact is, no matter what your fees are, you only have so much time in the day. You can only deal with so many clients. And when you've got that linear one-for-one exchange, 1 hour of my time for X number of dollars, you're always going to be limited. You're going to have that glass ceiling. All right? And maybe you're happy with that. Maybe you're doing very well with that. And then, you know, that's great for some people. But if you want to remove that glass ceiling and really expose yourself to the sky being the limit, then all we have to do really is look at the opportunity to leverage your time and master the art of duplication or automation. These are things that can put us in a position to generate much more than we would on a one-for-one relationship. I'll talk a little bit about automation in just a minute. But the art of duplication, you've heard it. You've heard the famous quote by J.P. Morgan saying that I'd much rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 men than 100% of my own efforts. That's leverage. And so you're aware of that, but let's keep that in mind as we move forward. What we're going to talk about, what we're going to teach in this training program is going to be based on leverage, using both the art of duplication and automation, things we can do in the internet. All right? So that's going to be kind of exciting. So let's first talk a little bit about leverage. In the internet, there's a variety of ways to use leverage, and we're going to use a variety of tools to do that. We could set up an automated sales machine that's working 24/7 for you. Okay? You know, there's a lot of people, if you're on Facebook, you see a lot of ads for people that are offering webinars. You know, how to build a list, how to get high-ticket clients, you know, one thing after another, how to advertise in Facebook. And they've got these recorded webinars set up that appear as though they're live. And so you register for a certain time, and then you get the reminders, and then you go and you log in, and then the webinar starts, and everything is geared to look as though it's live. There are companies that provide these services. They're not live, they're recorded. And these seminars, you can pick, let's say, 3 or 4 times during the day, pick one that suits you to do the seminar. And the reason they can do this is because it's all recorded, it's all automated. And so what if you had a recorded seminar? Maybe it's free to get people into another business activity with you. Maybe you're charging for the webinar. It's all set up. People are doing this 3-4 times a day. It's automated. You got an automated cash machine. That's not a bad situation. We'll be looking into some of those situations and how to do that. All right. You can also gain leverage by building a residual income from various sources. For example, we'll show you how to go out, get one customer. Let's say that customer, just for example, provides you with a sale for $50 every day. Okay? Or every month. Let's just say $50 a month. All right? Now, day 2, you get customer number 2 that will provide you with $50 a month. So now you've got 2 customers combined generating $100 a month. Day 3 is customer 3. That's $150 a month. All right? Now this continues. You can see how that scale moves up. You can see how building a residual income, starting with a base, can provide you with leverage. You're leveraging your time. You do the sale once, and you've got ongoing resources and income for a longer period of time, as long as that client remains a customer. All right, so we can build that and do it in a great way. Wait till you see what we have in store for you. We can get leverage from team building and duplication of efforts. Again, going back to J.P. Morgan, I'd much rather have the fruits from 1% of the efforts of 100 men than 100% of my own. We're all familiar with network marketing. We've got some people that say, I just will not get involved in network marketing. Well, to me, it's just kind of silly. Why would you only consider business opportunities that rely on a simple linear relationship with money? Because in that case, if you're exchanging your money, your time for money, as soon as you stop giving your time, guess what? Your money stops. So for me, in most cases, I won't do an opportunity if I don't have some kind of leverage to get. And typically, network marketing offers that. And when you understand marketing and how to build a team using the tools of the internet and the marketing strategies that we'll use, which are really simple, by the way. You don't need to be a guru or a rocket scientist. This is really simple stuff. You just need to know what it is, how it works, and how to implement it. And that's what we're going to cover in this program. Okay? So if you've got some kind of negative averment to network marketing or building a team, I suggest you change that, unless you want to continue to stay in that box with a linear relationship to money. Now, diversification, we all understand the concept of diversification. Now, we hear that all the time in the financial and investment world. You know, you want to build a portfolio, a diversified portfolio. So if one of your investments isn't working out or goes south, it can be the whole boat isn't going to sink. All right? The boat can be floated by the other assets or the other investments that you have that might be doing much better. Right? So that's a simple concept. Diversification spreads risk. And just as diversification works in building an investment portfolio, it also works in building a portfolio of revenue streams in business activity. That's why it's so important and why I always harp on creating multiple streams of revenue and cash flow. One business isn't necessarily going to be there forever. Companies come and go. If you're tied to one company and your whole life is with that company, I just pray that that company is going to be there for you long term, because the odds are it's not going to be. It may be affected by political factors, regulation, changes in the market, changes in the currency, all kinds of things can affect that business. All right, so we're going to build multiple streams of cash flow, spread the risk, and we can actually achieve diversification from leverage. So you've leveraged yourself in one business, and now you're taking some of the profits from that business and you're going to put that into a new second business. And as that second business starts to develop cash flow, you can leverage profits from that second business into a third business. So we can leverage profits from one business to build a diversified portfolio of cash flow streams and revenue. All right? Simple concept. So diversification itself is a form of leverage, because perhaps in this example I just used, you started with one business and over time you've developed a portfolio of various businesses. That in itself is a form of leverage. You've duplicated your revenue streams starting with just the one. So you see how that's a form of leverage. All right, now let's talk about the dirty word, sales. I'm not a salesperson. I don't have that personality. I don't want to be a salesperson. I hate sales. I can't do sales. All right, well, let's just do a little bit of introspection on this particular topic, all right? In sales, in the sales world, the people that don't want to be salespeople are typically referring in their own mind's eye to the pushers. The pushers are the type of salespeople that will try to push something on you whether you need it or not. Their sole objective is to make the sale. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. They want to make the sale. Example, I'm selling elixir and I'm down to my last 3 bottles. I got to meet my quota for the week and I got 3 more bottles to sell. All right? So I'm talking to you about this elixir and say, hey, Tom, you know what? You really need this elixir. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. You know, it gives you energy, it makes you healthy, it gets rid of colds and flu and does all these wonderful things. And you know what? It's Friday afternoon. I got to get back to the office and I got to sell these last 3 bottles. So if I don't, I'm not going to meet my quota. I'm not going to get my bonus, and my wife needs medicine right now. And if she's sick, she can't take care of the kids. And you know, would you help me out? Just buy these 3 bottles from me, and you know that'll really be a big plus. Thank you. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about myself, my needs. I didn't show one inkling of care or concern for Tom and what his needs are. It's only my needs. These are the pushers. They want to push something on you whether you need it or not. And these are the types of salespeople that we've all learned to abhor. And we vowed we would never become one. All right? Now, that's not the only type of salesperson. There are people who are true helpers. They're there to help you. They care about you. They want to serve your needs. They want to find out what your needs are and solve that. Okay? So, to take that same situation, that conversation might go like this on the elixir. Hey Tom, you know, this weather is really crappy, cold and rainy, and gosh, just about everybody I know is sick. Tom says, yeah, you know, gosh, half my family's got, you know, sniffles and flu, and I hardly have any energy to go to work. This is just knocking us all out. And so I'd come back, Tom, you know, I've come across this elixir that is fantastic. I've been using it, and gives me an energy kick. And I had a terrible sinus congestion and flu and aches and pains the other day, and I took it at night. The next morning, I woke up fully energetic. You might want to try something like that. Does that sound like something that might benefit you? Well, yeah, I could sure use something like that. Well, listen, tell you what, I can show you where to get a couple bottles of those, and how many folks in your family, and how many bottles do you think you might need? All right, so you see the difference in approach. Okay, that's a poor example, but you get the idea. The helper is out there to solve someone's problem. You find a need and fill it. You be a problem solver, and you make it your mission to help people solve a problem. All right, these days in the information age, people are inundated with offers and advertisements and emails and specials and promotions. And, you know, we're just flooded with stuff like this. All right, so we've developed an immunity. All right, the days of the pusher are over. The pushers are a dying breed. Right? So we've got to be in a position where we are looking for people who have a problem. And that problem is something that we can solve. Now, in the context of what we're doing here with this Internet Entrepreneur Training, think about the world today. How many people do you know, on the one hand, who are very well off financially. They got more money than they need, gainfully employed or successfully retired, comfortably retired. Count those people on your left hand. Now, on your right hand, how many people do you know that are struggling just to survive, are barely making it, don't have the money to send their kids to college, they don't have a retirement fund where they can retire comfortably, they don't have an emergency fund or a medical fund or anything extra really to take care of emergencies or other needs or dreams. They're just struggling to survive, trying to pay the bills, and perhaps not doing a very good job of it. How many of those people do you know? How many of those people do you think are out there? Do you know that the national unemployment rate, actual figures, real figures, is closer to 23 to 25%? That's nearly 1 in 4 people out there are unemployed. They don't have a regular source of income. You've heard the figures of all the people that have just given up looking for jobs. They've just tried and tried and tried and just have given up. They've left the workforce. Those figures are astounding. It's in the millions. With this Internet Entrepreneur Program, we solve a problem for millions of people. All right, think about it. We'll get more into that as we go. So you find a need and fill it. You become a helper, and now that puts an entirely different context to this dirty word called sales or salespeople, right? So you want to build a business? This is how you do it. Any business you get into, guess what? You're going to need to generate sales. So get used to that idea, or you're just not going to make it in business. Okay? Business depends on sales. You don't have to be a pusher, but we're going to find a need and fill it, and with the proper marketing approach, you don't even need to talk to most of the people that will be your clients. That's the beauty of the internet. Pre-designed programs and prepared materials will basically do all the presentation and so-called talking for you. All right? So now, does that give you a little different perspective on being a salesperson? That's what you're going to need to be successful in business. So, in the big picture of this free training program, all right, I'm going to take you step by step, build a business with multiple profit centers and ongoing revenue streams. It's not difficult, but we're going to do it in a very organized and methodical fashion, step by step, where you can walk away from that corporate job, have freedom for your time, ownership of your time, mobility, and all the benefits that we talked about, achieving all of your goals that we started looking at the beginning of this presentation. I'm going to show you how to create a warm market list of followers. We all know that people are much more inclined to do business with someone whom they know and trust. That's a warm market. So we're going to develop a list of followers, an email marketing list. And as you develop that, for example, let's say you've generated a list of 1,000 people. You send out an email offer, special offer, service, product, whatever it is. That offer is for a $100 sale. Let's say only 1 in 10 people responds to that offer that you just made. 10% of 1,000 is what? 100 people. If 100 people make a $100 purchase, guess what? That one email has generated $10,000 in revenue for you. See how that works? One email, 10% response. Now, 10% response is probably pretty high. You know, we should probably lower that from somewhere to 1 to 3% maybe. All right? But still, that's good money. Nothing wrong with that for one email. So you see the value of having a warm market list of followers on an email list. That's fairly easy to do. All right? I'm going to show you how to do that. All right? You're going to learn to master all of the necessary internet tools, such as autoresponders, capture pages, lead magnets, sales funnels, all these things. You don't need to be a technical wizard. These things are set up. All you have to do pretty much is just plug and play. You know, you plug in a few things, set it up, and bada bing, bada boom. These are part of the automated systems that we're going to set up. And in many cases, you won't need to even develop your own A lot of these will be developed for you, and all you'll need to do is import them into your personal system and turn the switch on and go. You like that idea? Not too difficult. I'm going to show you how to easily create your own ad graphics. Now, you're probably not a graphic artist, trained in graphic art. You don't need to be. I'm going to show you how to set up your own ad graphics with no training or experience. And this is a tool on the internet that's just fantastic. I use it all the time. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I can use this tool to create professional looking graphics. All right, so that's a neat little thing. And as we talked before, I'll show you how to automate your business to be a 24-hour cash machine on autopilot. So again, there's your leverage. You're not having to give your time to generate cash flow. Your system will be doing that for you. Okay? And we will develop residual income from existing customers. And as that grows, your monthly base will grow and grow and grow and grow. So that whether you're working or taking the day off or going out on the yacht or going fishing or going hiking in the mountains, your business is still generating money for you. You like that idea? All right. These are just a few of the things that we're going to get into in the program. And included in that is, how to find customers without spending a dime in advertising. There's a number of ways to do that. That's not to say that you won't be using paid advertising, but there are many ways to find customers without using paid advertising. All right? You'll find the right mix that's appropriate for you at the appropriate time. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Not too difficult to do. And I'll even show you how to create your own videos. Perhaps that's a total mystery to you, how to create a video. And you won't believe how simple it is. You just need to know how to use the tools. And we'll show you how to do that. Not that you'll need to create your own. You'll be able to use a lot of videos that are already created, but it's always nice to have that capability. So your capacity for success increases that much more. Okay, so in the big picture, what is it going to take from you? What is your commitment going to have to be? All right, first of all, you're going to need to participate in our weekly training. And whether that's in our live sessions or just catch up on the recordings, when you can, when your time allows, you'll need to do it step by step. This is a methodical approach. All right, we're going to start in the beginning and work our way through, one step at a time. Next, you need to learn and follow our recommendations. I've achieved a certain lifestyle that people look at me and they say, oh my gosh, he must be really wealthy. And I live like I am. I live like a lot of wealthy people live. But you know what? I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm not rich financially. I make enough to get by, and I'll make extra. You see these gurus saying, I made $900,000 last year, and I'll show you how to do the same thing. And of course, they never do. It never works for anybody else. That's not the approach I take. I'm more interested in receiving blessings, living the lifestyle that I want to live, and having enough to do what I want to do. But I'm not rich, and I'm not going to say you're going to be rich financially, millionaire. No, that's not the objective. The objective is to achieve freedom, live the lifestyle you want to live, be able to handle the emergencies that come up, be able to help others when the need arises, and live a good life. That's the bottom line, okay? So if you learn and follow our recommendations, I can almost guarantee you that you will accomplish your objectives. That's the objective. So you're going to need to subscribe to various tools along the way. We're going to make recommendations. You need to have this, you need to have that. And this is an investment in your business for things that you will own and control. Your own subscriptions, your own tools, okay? You need business cards, okay? I can't buy your business cards for you, right? You can start with as little as $20. Let's say $100 would be better. But if all you have is $20, you can start with this program and start making money. And you'll start generating cash right away. I'm not saying you're going to get rich overnight. No. But you'll start generating cash flow, and that's going to grow. And you will leverage profits from one business to put into another business. And you will grow and build your business empire. Does that sound all right? Is that reasonable? Okay? No wild claims, no huge promises, but we're going to develop success. So what does success look like? Let's see what that looks like. Phase 1, it would be my objective, if you work with us diligently, that within 90 days you'll be generating $1,500 to $3,000 a month. Okay? Do what we say, follow the program, learn what we have to teach. This is the phase 1 target. Phase 2 is within 6 months, you'll be up to $5,000 a month. All right? In most cases, that should enable you to walk away from your corporate paycheck, right? Maybe sooner, okay, depending on what that is. All right, phase 3, we're talking within the first 12 months, within the first 12 months, the end of 12 months being the outset. $10,000 a month would be a reasonable target, okay? And so that's what we're shooting for in general terms. Now that'll be different for everybody, and you'll be able to achieve your own results based on what you put into it. You want to get more out of it? Put more into it. If you don't put as much into it, you may not get as much out of it. Okay, so that really kind of depends on you. All right, so these are not promises or expectations, but are realistic, achievable goals. If you are serious, then you just follow the program. Can you follow the program? Take your own time to do it? We're not asking for any money. This is free. I'm offering my time, my experience, my expertise for you to help you. And when you're successful, I'll consider that a success for myself. If you're not successful, then we both fail, right? So our interests are tied together. We either win together or we fail together. We're a team, and that's what it's going to be like for the next 6 to 12 months. All right? So, to get started, it's real simple. All right? Get with the person who invited you to see this video and ask for their link to join the program. Or click on the link in the description on this YouTube page below, and you'll start getting some emails and instructions. You'll get on our notifications list to participate in the live trainings and the recorded sessions. And getting on that list is the key. There's no cost, no commitment, no obligation other than follow the program. Can you do that? I hope so. Thank you for your time. I look forward to your success and being able to contribute to that, being a part of it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the winner's circle. Take care and God bless.